We're here at the Mercer Satellite Camp in Macon, Georgia. Sean Callahan with Nebraska defensive coordinator Erik Chinander. Coach, this is kind of your second year now at Nebraska doing these types of camps. What do you guys really gain going to events like this in places like Georgia and Florida?
Well, I think we gain, me getting to see guys in person, especially other defensive guys that maybe coaches have saw in the springtime and have offered that I haven't got a chance to see live. And then we find a couple hidden gems. There's always a couple guys that pop up, underclassmen, seniors. But it's a great deal. Kids want to come because it's an Adidas event. Kids want to come because big-time programs are here.
What is just the reception you guys get? You guys made such a name for yourself in this part of the country at UCF. I think kids see the trajectory Nebraska's on. I mean, what kind of receptions you guys get on the road this spring?
Yeah, I think Coach Frost has such a great, respect in the South, in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, those types of things. So that helps us get in the door. And kids are really excited about the, direction Nebraska's heading in right now.
And this is one of those parts of the country. There's so much hidden talent. I mean, everybody knows about the main guys, but how important it is at a place like Nebraska to find that Cam Taylor or that guy that maybe is a little bit under the radar but ends up being a big-time player.
Yeah, I think some of those guys are, they're guys that the home school like an Alabama or Auburn is really high on. They're just maybe guys they're trying to keep off the radar right now, and we got to find those guys and develop those guys. But I think there's some big-time talent out here that goes overlooked a little bit.
As you've had a chance now, too, to kind of look at your defense coming out of the spring, what really jumped out to you? What do you like about your defense going into year two?
I like the growth that everybody's made. I like the depth at defensive line. I like where that back end's going. I'd like to find a little more depth at linebacker, but that first group of guys is really, really kind of where we want them right now. But a little more depth would help. But I like where we're at with the kids.
Yeah, those two freshman linebackers coming in, Jackson Hannon and Nick Henderson was here during the spring. I mean, how excited are you, particularly now to add Jackson to that mix with what you already have?
I think he's a tremendous player, and I think he can play outside or inside. So I can't wait to get working with him. I hope he is what we think he is. All the freshmen, it's hard to tell until you see him live, but I think he's going to be able to help us right away.
What did you like about Garrett Nelson having him this spring? I mean, just the energy and everything he brought to the table. It seemed like he was a nice addition this spring.
Yeah, I mean, he's a culture fit. He's a talent fit. He plays really hard. He's strong. He's physical, and he loves Nebraska. He just wants to be a Husker. There's nothing more important than that guy than being a Husker, and that's the kind of guys we need in our program.
It obviously starts up front, though. When you look at your defensive line during the spring, I mean, that looks to me like the area you're going to see as big of a jump as any on your group in year two.
I think so. I think, I saw those guys in the weight room the other day, and that defensive line room looked awesome. The Davis brothers and Stilley and Deshaun and the Daniels, I mean, those guys are all looking awesome in the weight room. I think they're going to have a huge impact on our team this year.
And you knew Darian was a good player, but having him in the program, getting to know him more, is he even brought more to the table than you guys anticipated?
Yeah, I thought he was going to help us depth-wise. I didn't know exactly how good he was. He's turned out to be really, really good football player, but he's an even better person. I mean, he's helped that room grow as people. He's helped the team grow culture-wise. He's been part of winning programs in high school and college, so he's brought a little bit of that energy with him, but he's been an unbelievable addition for us.
How important is it just to be able to play more guys? I felt like last year you had to really rely on four guys in key months in November where you had to really play the Davises and Stilley and some of those guys, a lot of snaps. To kind of shave those snap numbers down, what can that do over the season?
Oh, that'll help us, at the end of the year, to be able to play 6, 7, 8 guys, just to keep those guys fresh in those waning months, like you've said, and also to develop that young talent too. Obviously the core group is going to get the bulk of the snaps, but just to take 20, 30 snaps off those guys a game and develop that young talent will be huge for the future, and it'll help those older guys too.
And adding Tony to your staff, just what has he brought? I mean, it feels like he's been with you guys for years, and he's only been in Lincoln a few months.
Yeah, he's brought an unbelievable energy to that room. He's a great teacher. The guys love him as a man. He's done wonders for those kids, as part of their growth just as people, but he's really helped with their pass rush ability and some of their technique. He's a really good technician and a teacher.
Well, Coach Chinander, it was great seeing you here in Georgia. Enjoy the rest of the Satellite Camp Tour.
Thank you.